Overwatch has been out for a while, and I haven't even gotten close to finishing each of the characters for Noobs, especially the damage heroes. So I made a poll on YouTube asking you which of these 4 damage heroes you want me to make a video on. And lo and behold, Junkrat won the poll. So now it's time to get a little crazy. Okay? Enjoy. Hope I'm not intruding. Game designer, how's the character design going? Hey boss, yeah, I'm working on it right now. Check it out. It's going pretty good so far. Awesome. So up at corporate, they want a little bit more diversity. So I'm thinking we add an American character, a European character, and an Australian character. I don't know if that's what they mean by diversity. Yeah, shut up. So what I'm thinking for the Australian character, we do something that hasn't been done before. Our character is gonna love explosives. It sounds like you're describing Fuse and Junkrat. And maybe Australia is kind of destroyed from like a post-apocalypse or something. Isn't that just the plot of Mad Max? Right? Aren't those movies so good? My only knowledge of the country is from Mad Max. No, totally. I have no idea what's in Australia. I think like Hugh Jackman's from there. And Steve Irwin. R.I.P. Let's run with this. Let's get this character going. Okay, I'm on it. One explosive post-apocalyptic Australian coming right up.
Over borderline trauma that control my life more than I control my life. Damn near mortified. I just got demoralized. I don't know my purpose, so I might as well enjoy the ride.
Corporate's also telling us that we need a Japanese character, so any ideas? Maybe the character is a kid at a school, but like one of those cool Japanese schools with like uniforms and stuff. What if our Japanese character went into like the psyche, like into like almost an alternate universe, but within the same universe? And that's like his entire thing. And also, he has like an alternate persona? I think you're just describing the Persona series. Oh, that already exists? Wait, well that sounds fun. Which one should I start with? Well, if I were you, I would start with Persona 3. Because Persona 3 Reload is coming out February 2nd. Even if you haven't played a Persona game before, this is the perfect starting point. Persona 3 Reload is the captivating reimagining of the pivotal game of the Persona series, faithfully rebuilt with cutting-edge graphics, modernized quality of life features, and its signature stylish UI. And trust me, you do not need to play the previous Persona titles to enjoy Persona 3 Reload. The story is self-contained. I have so many great memories playing the original Persona 3, so this game is genuinely very exciting for me. Shout out my homie Dom, he's the one that got me into the series. And Persona 3 Reload is going to be available on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Windows, Steam, PlayStation 5, and PlayStation 4. So if you want to play Persona 3 Reload, it's available for pre-order right now and launches February 2nd, 2024. And I think if we would design a character around that, it could be pretty popular. Okay, well, let's design a Japanese character like that, but not like too similar so we don't get sued. Deal? Let's do it. Junkrat was one of the original heroes in Overwatch, and for the most part, his kit underwent almost no changes, but classic Overwatch players will remember that back in the day, he used to hurt himself with his explosives, which, when you look back at it, was kind of stupid. But besides that, his kit is pretty much identical to what it was 8 years ago when he was first introduced. So let's talk about him. Junkrat's real name is Jameson Fox, and he's from Australia, the land down under. I'm so sorry. Which in the Overwatch timeline is a full-on irradiated wasteland, because during the Omnic crisis, the Omnics blew up Australia's Omnium fusion core, and now it's full-on Mad Max Fury Road out there, with raiders, scavengers, and of course, the Junkers. The Junkers created a lawless society out of reclaimed metal, led by the Junker Queen in Junkertown. The radiation didn't really help them with being creative at making names, okay? However, the radiation did make them a little bit crazy. They like having these crazy cage matches and stuff, like the Thunderdome from Mad Max. And the craziest of them all is probably Junkrat, who is obsessed with explosives. One day, Junkrat discovered a treasure in the ruins of the Omnium Fusion Core site. But since he wouldn't stop telling everybody about it, bounty hunters and gangs would pursue him everywhere. And one of these people coming after him was the Junker Queen herself. So he needed a bodyguard and found Roadhog in a bar, who agreed to protect him for a 50-50 split of the treasure when they find it. But Roadhog also just didn't like the Junker Queen, so he was kind of just down to help. Together, Roadhog and Junkrat caused so much mayhem and stole from everything and everyone, including the Junker Queen. So she kicked them out of Junkertown. But they didn't mind because they just left Australia completely and began stealing from places all over the world by blowing everything up. He tried robbing a train once, but ended up blowing up the train instead. After doing millions of dollars in damage, the pair became two of the most wanted people in the world. At one point, they tried to go legit, but were instead set up to take the fall for a wealthy businessman, so yeah, they prefer being two wild and crazy guys, on their own, creating chaos wherever they go. So while Roadhog finds Junkrat annoying, I do think they're best friends, like Timon and Pumbaa. And some heroes even think they're lovers?
Are you and Roadhog together?
Do you ever see us apart?
No, I mean, are you a couple?
Yes! A couple of dashing rogues! Not sure what you're missing here.
That's Junkrat's backstory in a nutshell. So now that you know who Junkrat is, let's learn how to play him, shall we? Junkrat's weapon of choice is his frag launcher. He shoots 5 grenades at a time out of his gun, which do 120 damage if it's a direct hit. And if it lands anywhere else, it can do anywhere from 10 to 80 splash damage with its explosion. The grenades will explode on impact when you hit an enemy, or after bouncing off the floor 2 times. They will also explode on the ground after 1 bounce off any wall. So what this allows you to do is bounce the grenades off the wall and land cheeky kills without even seeing the enemy. And while it does a lot of damage, like a lot, it's super inaccurate. Which doesn't matter if you're just trying to break Reinhardt's shield, which Junkrat is really good at. Just another reason to not use Reinhardt. Why do they hurt him so much? Most of the time, you're just gonna spam it down a choke. Seriously, you don't even have to move. You can just get so many kills standing perfectly still.
1 hour later.
His first ability is his concussive mine. He gets 2 mines that do up to 110 damage in a 3-meter radius. The damage does have a little bit of a fall off within that 3-meter radius. It also has a boop effect that launches you and the enemies upwards and away from it, meaning that not only is it a great way to deal burst damage, but it's also solid movement. You can get to high ground to damage people from above, or use it more defensively to launch yourself away from the enemies mid-fight. It can boop enemies, but most of them will be able to get back, so it's not the best for environmental kills. But that doesn't matter because you have the most important combo. Junkrat has a 1-2 punch of shoot a grenade, throw a mine, and get a kill. Since in close range, that's an instant 220 damage. So any squishies will instantly die with this combo. And seeing as most healers are squishy, you can launch yourself behind, do a little flank action, and kill an enemy with ease. You can really get crafty with your mines. Like a mine crafter. His next ability is the steel trap. Anyone caught in this trap will take 100 damage and won't be able to move for 2.5 seconds. However, it can be destroyed, so make sure you put it in the sneakier spots. The trap will catch people off guard from time to time, and if combined with your mine, it can be a guaranteed kill on most heroes. And if an enemy's trapped, you gotta let your team know and make sure that dude is dead for sure. Also, don't set traps up in front of the enemy's spawn. Nobody's gonna fall for that anymore. This isn't 2016, even though some of us kind of wish it was, you know? I just miss Fetty Wap. I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello, I'm a trap queen. His passive is Mayhem, which is like Call of Duty's Martyrdom perk, which was always so much fun to deal with, yay. Well, it's in Overwatch 2, and it's just as annoying. Whenever Junkrat dies, he leaves behind 6 live grenades that will do 50 damage each. So if the enemy walks over your dead body, they're dead too. Every now and then you'll randomly get a kill with this and you'll smile knowing that you definitely pissed somebody off, but it's easily avoidable. However, sometimes you'll just kill a Genji while he's got a dragon blade? Was it part of my plan? I'll never tell. So I guess if you die, my only advice is die near the enemies. And finally, we have Junkrat's ultimate, Rip Tire, or as I like to call it, the Hot Wheel. The Rip Tire is like a remote control car that you can explode, dealing up to 600 damage in a 10-meter radius. So you can almost guarantee kill anyone in its radius. You can choose when to explode it, but it will automatically explode after 10 seconds. And during this time, Junkrat can't really do anything except just stand there. Menacingly, your enemies can shoot it, and if it dies, it won't explode, and you'll be sad. But if they don't, then somebody's gonna die. The tire can climb up walls and jump around, making it harder for enemies to shoot at. So make sure you kind of like, maneuver it a bit. And if your ultimate takes down a support or a tank, it's doing its job and winning you the fight. And if you're getting more than 1 kill, I guess that makes you the Junker King.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But let's be honest, most of you noobs won't see it get many kills or any kill at all because it'll definitely die before you get the chance.
Montage.
As someone who actually respects Australia, arnar, I guess you have to listen to these pro tips. Number 1, you can minimize the noise that the rip tire makes by first kind of running it for a little bit behind a wall and then going off with it. This works especially well if you're planning on flanking with the tire. You just don't want the enemies to know where it's coming from, and that'll guarantee you a bit more kills. But trust me, you really gotta get good at just like zipping, zooming, dipping, ducking, and dodging with this thing, okay? Number 2, Junkrat is best utilized in maps with small chokes because you can just spam his grenade and get kills. For more open maps, he's a little bit less useful, especially because a lot of characters can counter you. You can't really do anything to a Widowmaker in a more open map, and of course, his number 1 counter is Pharah, and to like a lesser extent, Echo. It's so difficult to kill a Pharah in the sky with a Junkrat. I know you can, but realistically speaking, this is your hard counter. So do yourself a favor, if there's no hit scan on your team, you might need to swap off the junk. Number 3, with Junkrat's mine, you can perform what is called the triple jump. You can place down a mine, wait for your cooldown to come back, then once you have both mines on cooldown, use the mine on the floor to jump, then you can use another mine in the air to jump again, and then you can use the mine one last time to triple jump. This can be useful for getting extreme movement right out of spawn in the beginning. And setting up your mine on the floor will help you get to really high spots and kill people in the air, like Pharah, who counters you. This, like I said, this won't happen that often, but like, you know, you gotta learn how to. Number 4, Overwatch's most recent hero, Mauga, pairs extremely well with Junkrat. Step aside, Roadhog. There's another big Polynesian guy that Junkrat should be hanging out with. You see, Mauga's ultimate traps enemies, which already is an amazing ultimate. But since they can't escape, and because they're surrounded by a barrier, they can't shoot the tire before it even comes in, which means Mauga plus Junkrat equals play of the game. Simple as that.
That's trans out.
Not the trans, if you get the triple.
Got him. All yours, Macro.
Ah, yes, man! Let's go! Overall, Junkrat is such a fun character. His personality is super goofy, his backstory is also wild, the Mad Max references are always fun to see, and the entire Junkertown is such a weird concept, but I'm glad it exists. And I had a really fun time getting footage for him this week. But how is he for noobs? For noobs, I would honestly say that he's one of the easiest characters in the entire Overwatch roster. If for some reason you've never played Overwatch before, or you have been playing Overwatch but haven't played Junkrat before, you should consider using him. But remember, you should swap off when you're being hard countered or in maps where he's just not as useful. Don't be a one trick, okay? Nobody likes that, even in 2024. But what do you think? Do you think Junkrat's easy to play? Do you think he's hard to play? Do you think he's underpowered and needs buffs, or overpowered and needs nerfs? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm planning on doing more Overwatch content throughout the year because I really do have a lot of heroes to go through. So feel free to leave in the comments which hero you would like for me to do next if I haven't already done it. Please do not spam, oh, make Mauga for noobs. It's right there, it exists. Let me know which hero you want me to do by typing that hero for noobs in the comments, and the most requested ones, I'll put in a poll next month. Okay guys, I gotta go design another character for this game that we're making, so I'll catch you later. Ya noob.